I'm going crazy. I can't even be part of this hearing.
We are facing something that is bigger than one issue.
Chevron disrespected us.
This mega polluter.
Planning on putting additional startup compressor capacity.
He just don't care.
I think you overplayed your hand.
We will rise out of this fucking trash can.
It was kind of painted as some kind of upgrade.
Real world environmental racism. 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 Racism.
On page 3-47 of the March 2007 version of the administrative draft EIR for Chevron's proposed Richmond expansion, the refinery proposes to add a new dedicated Isomax startup compressor. This dedicated compressor would minimize flaring during startup periods. There's one more thing you should know about this quote. It's all lined out. Apparently, this signifies that Chevron has removed this flaring reduction measure from the previous draft of the project.
The city of Richmond has for 100 years experienced the environmental injustice of this mega polluter, the Chevron Richmond oil refinery.
I reported about the Philippines and told him that the health of Chevron is not just about the health of his profits, but about the health of the people and the lungs and the hearts of the people that they impact.
I live in North Richmond, California, not San Ramon. I live in a small apartment. Not a big palace. While they take money and they think of their health as fiscally healthy, I'm thinking of my health. I breathe this garbage every day.
It seemed pretty early on that the public was not going to get information about what Chevron was doing at its refinery. But they are going to still go forward with all the other aspects of the project, which they got approval for, which will allow Chevron to process low-quality crude.
Why did Chevron not put this measure or discuss it at all in the flare minimization plan that also came out in March?
I don't have the, my name's Mike Farrar, I'm the planning manager here. I don't have that document in front of us. We are planning on putting additional, essentially startup compressor capacity as part of the project. We are planning on putting additional startup compressor capacity as part of the project.
On the Isomax unit?
On the hydroprocessing units, including the Isomax unit, yes.
Okay, and can you answer my question about why it wasn't discussed in the flare minimization plan that you submitted to the Air District and the public the same month, last month?
The flare minimization plan represents what we're planning on doing now. The project is working on an update to the flare minimization plan as part of the process. And it's something that Chevron's been discussing with the district in terms of when that needs to be done with the changes that we're proposing as part of the project. But the project changes haven't yet been incorporated into the flare minimization plan.
In Superior Court, wrangling after a ruling that rejects an environmental impact report from Chevron and the City of Richmond. The court called it unclear and inconsistent.
Community members, representatives, individuals from around the world, from Richmond to Ecuador to Nigeria to Burma to Canada to Iraq to Kazakhstan, and the Philippines, have attended the shareholder meeting today to make their voices heard, to tell senior management, shareholders, the board of directors, how their communities are suffering.
Chevron actually gave life to this dictatorship by building this pipeline and bringing millions of dollars. That's the regime and military use to purchase arms, to shoot people, to rape women, to imprison children. And they have done all those things that you can name in abuses.
People in the community where they don't have no pipe-borne water, no food to eat, no jobs, ecological devastation, you know, all the oil polluting the water, and people are dying of diseases, children are dying of asthma.
Chevron's had 14 times more major flaring events because of compressor problems than Shell has in the last 3 years.
Bring me back, yeah, bring me back what's rightfully mine.
Since we've been having these hearings from the Planning Commission up to today, I keep telling the Council and the Planning Commission that this is about environmental racism, environmental injustice, yet you continue to refuse to have your staff to address the issue of the law or whether this project meets the requirements of the environmental justice law, which means that our communities like North Richmond, like Atkinson Village, like others that are on the front line of the chemical assault have already overly taken their fair share, and any more adding to that is unacceptable, period.
Basically, I just want to tell you, I think you overplayed your hand. And not responding to our letter until the meeting when we asked questions about some of these measures, and then thinking you can announce it and make it nice in this meeting. I hope you do it, but like Henry Clark said, until it's enforceable, we don't know.
And in response to the true cost of Chevron report that the coalition has produced, Chevron CEO David O'Reilly said, "I've heard of this report and I think it should, quote, be thrown in the trash."
I talked to them about how they have defied the Supreme Court of the Philippines. Defied the Supreme Court of the Philippines. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times have spit in the face of their host country, saying they will not leave, that they will allow this danger to exist. When I asked David O'Reilly, will the company abide by the law of their host country, you know what he had to say? Nothing. Thank you. No comments. Shut down completely. Now he says he wants to throw this report in the trash can. I tell him that we will rise out of the trash can that he has tried to make out of our lives. That we will continually rise out of it. With this report, with our voices, we will continue to say that we will fight for justice. That the coalition in the Philippines, in Burma, Nigeria, and Kazakhstan, and Richmond, everywhere, we will rise out of this fucking trash can he has made of the world. And tell him what we really want. This man had the gall to say justice. It came out of his mouth. He said this is justice after that sham of a video about Ecuador. But I'm going to tell him now that we're going to fight for real justice, and we're going to tell him right now. What do we want? Justice! When do